as you understand the behavior model, you'll see more and more how this plays out in your life and the life of your patients. Let me share an example. And I just got back from Thanksgiving vacation. I'm going to tell a story kind of on my parents. I hope they don't see this. I hope they don't. They wouldn't get mad, so I don't want them to see this. In my parents' home, between the kitchen and the dining room, there's this little walkway, this little hall with a counter on it. And over the holiday, right on that counter, sitting out was a bowl of nuts, a bowl of pretzels, a little bowl of chocolate, and 2 or 3 other things. And so as you walked from the kitchen into the dining room or into the bathroom, any other part of the house, you would go right by that counter with all the snacks sitting out. So look at what's going on in terms of the behavior model. Those treats were yummy. I like nuts. I like pretzels. Not such a big fan of chocolate, but nuts, pretzels, yeah. So I'm motivated to eat it. By setting out the bowl right there, and it was an open bowl, you could see it, it was really easy to just grab some nuts on your way walking through. And the fact that they were sitting there visible, it was essentially a trigger. It was, the bowl was inviting you. It said, eat me, right? You could eat them. And as I watched people's behavior walking by, people would walk by and they'd pick up the nuts, the sunflower seeds, the pretzels. In other words, the behavior of snacking, it was perfectly designed for right there. And even if you wanted to eat kind of healthy over the holiday, which I did and others, still there's a competing motivation to eat delicious things. So you're kind of, so here's what I did, and I call it trigger design. After Thanksgiving was over and after I was kind of sick of being triggered by these snacks, I have to admit, twice I ate peanuts as I walked by. I'm usually pretty good about saying, no, I'm not doing that. But notice I was being triggered and triggered and triggered. And I kept having to get myself below the line by saying, no, I really don't want to eat this stuff. I took the nuts and the pretzels and the chocolate and I put some up in the cupboard and I put some in the pantry. In fact, I took the triggers off the shelf. In other words, trigger design by removing the triggers. So when I remove the trigger, that means, the behavior is not going to happen because as people walked by, they weren't going to be prompted to eat all those snacks. Now, then I went a step further. Instead of having the behavior of eating snacks, I decided to replace it with another behavior. So I got some blueberries out of the fridge and I put them in a bowl, and I got some carrots and put them in another bowl. So notice it's still a snacking behavior, but it's a different kind of behavior. And I put them right on that little counter. So as people would walk by, they would then be triggered to eat the carrots and the blueberries. And that's exactly what happened. So maybe the motivation to eat carrots and blueberries isn't quite as high as chocolate, but it's still high enough that if you make it easy to do and trigger it, bam, my family started eating blueberries and carrots. Now, I thought I might hear some complaints from this, but I didn't. In fact, some people walked by and they're like, I'm eating carrots. So anyway, that's how to think about behavior, and that's how to apply the model even to the most practical issues of your life.